feel like I've been living through a really long winter. It started back in the summer of 2024 and it's still going. Like I keep waiting for it to end, but it just keeps going. I think my personality is kind of like a reed, the kind that bends all the way down like it's about to snap, but somehow never does. So I know I'll get through it. I always do. But lately, it really feels like I'm walking through this super narrow, dark little tunnel. And somewhere at the end of it, there's this huge, bright light waiting for me. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. A lot has happened, health stuff mostly. Sometime last year, I randomly spiked a really high fever, like teeth chattering high, with muscle pain, joint pain, and some early signs of sepsis. I called an ambulance. The fire department guys showed up first, looked me over, and basically said, "You look fine, just go to urgent care." But I knew my own body. I knew this wasn't nothing, so I told them I wasn't going to urgent care. I needed the ER. They weren't thrilled about it, but they took me, and I'm glad they did. The ER helped me stabilize, but they never really figured out what caused it. My doctor basically said, just focus on building up your immune system. So I did. I was careful, I was mindful, and then about a month or two ago, same exact symptoms. ER again, still no answer. This time though, I pushed for more. I asked my doctor to refer me out, and I've got appointments lined up at different specialists. I'm just waiting, which, if you've dealt with the American healthcare system, you know the waiting is its own kind of challenge. On a happier note, my horse came back to me. That was genuinely one of the best things that happened. I was so ready to just throw everything into riding and finally get to the level I've always wanted. But then he ended up needing an injection and is now recovering. So there's that. And then the car accident. I had just gotten blood work done and was on my way home to change before heading to the barn. Normal day. I'm driving down this quiet street, minding my own business, when I notice a pickup truck that was street parked starting to move into the second lane. I figured it was just pulling out, totally normal. And then, out of nowhere, it made a U-turn, right into me. It had this metal bar thing on the bumper, and it basically tore through my entire right side. Front door, back door, rear panel. All of it. I was in shock, completely blank. What saved me, a Tesla driver behind me actually stopped. He told me his car had recorded everything, gave me his number, and walked me through what info I needed to get from the other driver. He waited until he knew I was okay, and I really appreciated that. You don't have to stop for a stranger. Most people don't. He had somewhere to be, probably, but the stopped anyway, and that small moment of kindness in the middle of all that chaos meant more than I can explain. I drove home in my wrecked car. At every red light, people were rolling down their windows asking what happened. The damage looked pretty bad from the outside. The other driver had California minimum coverage, $15,000. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough. And then I got a headache. Ended up going to urgent care, then the ER, again. That ER experience is a whole story on its own. 4 hours of waiting, the same questions asked 3 separate times by 3 different people. At some point, I genuinely felt like I was in some kind of psychological loop. I ended up leaving on my own. I think staying any longer would have made things worse, not better. At some point, I caught myself thinking, maybe this car is just cursed. Like, I had a clean record before this car, 0 accidents, and then I get this one, and within a year, it's already been hit twice. So I thought, maybe I just need to get rid of it, start fresh, get something that doesn't carry whatever energy this thing has. But then I sat with that thought for a while, and I don't know, something shifted. This car got torn apart, and I walked away. The door took it, the panel took it, not me. When I think about what could have happened if the impact had been just slightly different, if I had been a second faster or slower, I don't even want to finish that thought. But I'm here, I'm fine. And maybe this car didn't bring me bad luck. Maybe it's been protecting me the whole time, just in ways I wasn't seeing. So instead of being angry at it, I think I owe it a thank you. I don't know when this tunnel ends, but I do know tunnels end. And I really believe that whatever's on the other side of this, it's going to be so bright it almost hurts. Someone once said the darkest hour is just before dawn. I'm holding on to that.